grab a pen and pad. You're listening to the Take Notes with Kiki Barber podcast. Your host, Kiki Barber, a wife, mother, entrepreneur, educator, and author, shares her experiences, expertise, and advice that you can apply to your own lives.
Welcome to Take Notes with Kiki Barber. I am your host, Kiki Barber. So today we have a great guest tonight. Now, I call you Ish affectionately, So, what do you like? What do you want to be called? What do you like to be called, Mrs.
I love Ish.
Ish. Okay, Ish. Ish. So I'm gonna be talking to Ish tonight. So welcome, Ish. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Kiki, for having me.
So
thank you. I'm honored. I told you that.
So we'll be getting into some heavy stuff on tonight, you guys. But I am so excited to have like a sister here today because sometimes when people go through things, it's easy for us to assume when it's not so close and it's far off, and you see people go through the motions and you can't really tap into it because you can't just call the person and be like, well, how is it really to go through that? But the blessing is that I have that in you where I could recount different things that happened after what we're going to talk about. So tonight we're going to talk about, now the tragedy was that you lost a son too young.
Yeah.
Very, too young. And we had just saw him up here for Thanksgiving, and the next thing you know, we get a call around Christmas time, and it's like, what? We just saw him.
Yeah.
He was just over there chilling. So it was just like a big thing that happened, and it was like so quick. It was a quick thing that happened. So what I witnessed in this time is I saw the scripture in the Bible come to life where it said, God will give you peace that surpasses all understanding. And when I say that you are that scripture personified, that's what you are. That's what I felt, So, and I've seen a lot of God's scriptures and I've read a lot, but when you see it come to life actually and somebody live it out, it's like, oh, that's what that looks like, So that is what I saw. Yeah. So that's what we want to talk about tonight. Yeah. But, we do a lot of different segments here. So I want to be able to do, we do something called the mommy moment. And because you're here, we're going to talk about the mommy moment with you. But before I do that, if you have any businesses you want us to let us know about or anything like that or shout anything out, we're going to do that also because we like to promote, up and coming businesses and entrepreneurs. That's what we do. That's what I am. That's, So the first person I'm going to shout out is my sister-in-law, Latifa Burrows. So she has this nice line, this shirt. It's called Dollars and Cents Unlimited. And I love it because if you got enough sense, you'll get your money in order. That's how I read it. So dollars and cents, and I love the way I love this line and what she did. When I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I like that dollars and cents. Because if you have the money and you have the wherewithal and the mind to spend it right, then you could do some things, some investing and some different things. So, some people might look at it as just dollars and cents. I look at it like, ooh, I like that. That could be a lifestyle, So shout out to Tifa for this brand. I love it. I'm wearing it. Love the colors of the Papa colors. Love everything it stands for. So do you have anything you're working on, Ish, that you're working on?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And my cousin is trying to push me to doing it.
Okay.
I don't know why it hasn't yet, but it's called Juicing with Ish.
Okay, cool.
And I love juicing. And it was crazy because when man had first introduced juicing to my household, we were all very objected to it. We were like, no, what is that? You think get out of here?
Yes.
And now, over the years, and this has been since 2009. Over the years, I have learned to play with different flavors and ingredients and things like that. And I know a bit about it, and I love it, and I know what it does for me nutrition-wise. Wow. And I just want to introduce that to the world. Like, I feel like a lot of us are not aware. So
wow.
I gotta bring that. Yeah.
Wow. So what are the nutritional benefits of juicing? Like, since we're on it, let's talk about it. So
Absolutely. So a lot of people that I talk to, when you ask about why they do not eat healthy, several reasons, because a lot of them like vegetables. And I share with them that, in my opinion, that when you juice, you're still getting those same nutrients and balances from juicing, but it doesn't even taste like that. Like, there are certain ingredients that's going to stand out. Like, you want to taste the carrot, and you will taste the beet. Because they're really, really potent, right?
Definitely.
But there are things that's in there you would never even know they were in there. But they all have their own nutritional value and what they add to the body. Each vegetable, in particular, I love juicing with kale.
Oh, wow. Kale is the best.
If I don't put nothing else in
yeah.
If I give me my system, baby, I can go.
Wow. And kale is the best. Now, I wasn't a fan of kale at first. Value, and then it was just like better with the, when I came with kale, I stopped eating lettuce in my salad because I was like,
let me say,
I was
they
like,
can't give any type of lettuce. Iceberg, I don't even know what that is. I don't even.
Yeah, like lettuce. I'm like, it's all watery. So since I started doing kale and spinach, things like that had more nutritional value, it was like, yeah, this is better. Like, no more lettuce for me. I don't even eat lettuce in anything anymore. So that's awesome. So something that you something that you didn't like turned out to be something that you loved.
You said something that like
when he brought to the the whole juicing idea to the house, it was like,
oh my God, so it's
recording in progress.
Go ahead.
It stunk really bad.
It stunk.
I couldn't take the smell. I couldn't take the smell.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. It smelled, but now to me, it smells like garden. And that's amazing, because when I first, in the beginning, when he first introduced it to us, it was like, oh my God, it stinks so bad. You really cannot leave it in the house. Once you juice, you really have to clean it up.
Clean it out. Okay.
But because it will stink your house up. Yeah.
Wow.
But now it smells like a fresh. I love the smell of juice.
Love the smell of it. Yeah. I love that. And it's something I can't wait. I can't wait till it comes. So you have to tell us, so we have to bring you on again to talk about juicing. Yeah. Because we have to introduce your product. So absolutely. I love it. So you're out here doing a whole lot of things. Now we do something called the mommy moment. Do you have any? I know you have a beautiful daughter, and of course, you had your son. Any moments that you could share with our mothers that that might be out here, that you just experience you have with your children, or something you can give us a tidbit to make us better mothers, or things like that?
Oh my goodness, that's perfect. Yeah, I have the perfect moment. Just recently, I took a trip to Atlanta to visit Mushy, which is my daughter, and spending that time with her, we went through several different transitions in our relationship. We were happy, we were sad, we were angry, but we had this moment, and it was so defining. And I wanted to share this because what I learned was, while I was so busy trying to buy Aisha, I didn't recognize that wasn't what she was seeking from me. She wanted more. She wanted me. So I had all the toys, more toys at Christmas time than the other children, the name brand clothing, just exposing her to things. I felt like if she had those things, that I was being a great mother. And she just shared with me, and my baby just turned 27. And she just shared with me. So it was powerful. And so I wanted to share that moment because I know, much like myself, there are other mothers out there who probably, they're doing the same thing, and their relationship with their children are estranged because of it. But sit down and have that real talk with that child, and I promise you, they will put you right in check.
Okay, girl.
They will put you right in check, but it is necessary.
It's very necessary.
You will learn so much about yourself. I think that was possibly, like, I'm at a place. I came from LA recently, and I keep saying that trip was so defining for me because it was rejuvenating. It was mind opening, and it has me in a space that's making me want more.
Wow.
And so, so that trip coupled with what Aisha had just did to me, in reference to becoming a better mom and acknowledging my flaws, it just has me in this space right now that is benefiting to my growth.
Wow.
It's helping my growth, because what I've been able to do is not only ask for forgiveness from Aisha and those that I'm learning from, but it's also allowed me to forgive myself, because I didn't do that for a long time.
Wow. And that's the part. That's the part right there. Forgive yourself. Wow.
Self-forgiveness. And you start there, because if you can become your own enemy, and I say enemy because that hate kind of starts to fester, and you become so angry with self, like, so it's a battle. It's a conflicting battle, you know, or who you're fighting to become. And so if you can't find a way to forgive yourself of the things that you know you've done out of ignorance, out of lack of understanding, never out of
malicious
you know,
intent.
it's always,
it wasn't malicious intent. Yeah, it was just
definitely behind it, but out of hurt, out of pain, you know. So those are always factors to why I was the woman I once was. But everything again is so, for the past couple of weeks have been finding to me. So finding myself, man,
and I like the amazing approach that you took, because even when we talk to our children, like I always say that Gianna is a mirror. She's a mirror reflection of myself, because she shows me myself. She shows me my impatience. She shows me everything. Like, Lord, why are you trying to why? But she shows me myself. And and we can do either one or two things. And before, when I was a younger parent, but wisdom, when you get older, wisdom is the key. Because when I was younger, wisdom is it. When I was younger, I'd be like, girl, ain't nobody doing that to you. Girl, I never took accountability. I never did any of that. But sitting as an older parent, it's like, girl, take accountability. She telling you how she feel. Like, I think you're gonna you know?
Listen, my jaw was on the table, because I couldn't dispute it.
Yes.
I knew everything was saying was true, and I couldn't dispute it. I also had to look across that table and recognize that is my daughter. That is not an enemy that's telling me something to her.
Yes.
She's telling me something to better me. She's telling me something that she needs from me. So that's not the enemy that's sitting across from me. You gotta start to look at the individual that you're dealing with, and recognizing that those aren't the enemies.
Consider the source.
When you recognize,
yes, consider the source.
Great point. Consider the source. It will help your relationship.
It will.
Definitely.
It will. And I had to start doing that. Like, you always trying to expose somebody. You always trying to do this. And it was like, girl, if she's telling you this, maybe you could do better by Sarai if you just take because she was the guinea pig. She was the first child. So if I did do anything wrong, she was the one to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was the other reason I think I was so receptive to it, because that baby grew up with me.
She grew up.
I was 17 years old. I had just had her at 17. So she grew up with me. She seen it all.
They went through the struggle. They went through everything. You really can't hide anything from them, because they know everything.
Exactly. And so to hear her find the strength to tell me that, because I always viewed myself as an individual, and I was so much younger when my mom passed away. My mom passed, we actually buried her the day before I had Mushy. I went into labor with Mushy.
Okay.
So that's how long ago my mom has been. And so I was not like the way my daughter can have a conversation with me and tell me about myself. I never found that strength to do that with my mom.
Wow.
And Aisha's been years, but this is the first time she's gotten to that, like, has expressed that feeling towards me, and shared that with me. Always been able to come to me and say when it like how I was doing something, if something didn't make sense. Like, she's always been very voiceful.
Yeah, Gianna too. Gianna will tell you in a minute. They vocal.
And take that from her though. That's a part.
That's who she is.
if she could come to me and be honest, then she would definitely be honest with everybody in the world. And I needed her to be that strong.
That's exactly. And I taught Gianna, and we used to have moments where Gianna and I would be like, okay, off the record, tell me how you feel. Like, I'm not your mom right now. I'm not judging you. Tell me in exactly how you feel. Don't curb anything. Don't do anything. And she would do that when she was younger. And I gave her that voice. It's like, okay, but when they use it against you, it's like almost like I taught Gianna how to read when she was like 2. I had, signs on the door, stop. Like when she, and then when she started reading your mail, it's like, girl, why are you reading my mail?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, it's always good until they use it against you. So you give them a voice, and it's like, but don't use that voice against me. You can use it against everybody else. Don't let nobody walk over you. Don't let nobody tell you any old thing. But don't tell me that, though. And then when girls that way, and that's how it is. And then when you're confronted with it, it's like, girl, you like, and God always tells me, Kiki. And the first time God told me, me and Gianna were going through something, God told me, it's not even about you. I said, did you say that to me? Did you say that? Like, God was like, Kiki, it's not even about you. Like, and that's when I knew that God was like, you need to take note of what she's saying. Consider what she's saying. And acknowledge what she's saying.
That part.
That
That's why God allowed me, Aisha, to give me that message now. There was no better time for her to give it to me. If she would have given it to me years ago, I wouldn't have been receptive to it. I wouldn't have been accepting of it. I wouldn't have allowed her to speak that and in that manner and tone to me.
Yeah. And you know how because I would have heard it like, that's disrespectful. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Then I would have called the whole family. I'd have called the whole family. You know this girl told me off.
Listen, my daughters be like, we can't tell you nothing. Yeah. I'll be like, why? Because Aunt Jaquay gonna know, Sarah gonna know, Grandma gonna know, everybody gonna know. Yeah. Like, you just always telling
everybody gonna know. Yeah.
Sisters, they like, it is your sister's mom, but we don't want them to know. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So now I had to learn how to be like, okay, so you say you're telling me it's just me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call my minute. Yes.
I'm calling my sisters like, we all one, girl. When I know, they all know. They like, no, Mom, that's not how it is. So I'm just like, okay, I had to learn how to do that. But that is awesome. I'm glad you shared that mommy moment because sometimes it's not all about what you do for them. Like you said, the big Christmases and things like that. It's time that these children want, and time that these children desire. They want your time. Yeah. So I thank you for sharing that. Yep. So we're going to move into the meat of it all. And we're going to talk about
let's
get into it, boo. So I was able to witness some of the things. I'm not going to say all because I can never put myself to have empathy because I've never. Now, sympathy, not empathy. So I was there with my best friend when I got the call, and she was distraught. So I had to go to her rescue. Okay. And the night that your son was taken. So fast forward to when you guys actually came from Atlanta to Philly, and the whole funeral services and everything were going on. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, I'm here to support the family. I know I've been in the family for many, many, many years. So I feel like I'm related to everybody. So I'm like, I gotta support Man and Ish. So what I saw, like I said, was that scripture, peace that surpasses all understanding. That's the first time I saw it lived out. It's you. When I saw you actually get up there and sing at your son's funeral, girl, and make it through. Okay, I was just like, I can't understand it. I can't understand it because it was beyond my understanding. Because I'm like, if that was Gianna or Sarai, I don't even know how I would be able to be standing up by myself. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted you to talk to our parents out there that have lost someone, because I can't speak from that place. No. Grief stricken, and some people are stuck there. Some people are stuck. Some people are stuck there. They can't get past that grief. They can't get past, God, why did you do this to me? Why did you take them from me? They are stuck there, and they are not living they're not getting the best quality of life because they are stuck. When I saw you, and I know you have tough times. I know all of that. That's reality. I know you have tough times there. But when I saw you get up there and praise God through the hardest probably time of your whole entire life.
Yeah.
That's when I saw Heaven's Heart personified, where it was like peace that surpasses all understanding, because I did not understand it. I didn't understand it. So please tell us a little bit about this.
Yes. Again, Keith, thank you so much for having me. I am honored. And as you were stating, of course, we lost our son in 2018 to gun violence. Iseir was an Albany State student. He had only been away at school for a few short months before this tragedy. But we knew the ending desire, which was to receive his degree in business. He was creating beats and he wanted to start a clothing line. So I have all of those memories to cherish always, because in my eyes, he would always be that businessman, and he would have fulfilled his dreams. I'm certain he would have. So I always tell people, the first day defines, in my opinion, the first day defines how you're going to respond through this tragedy. And I say that because I remember in the first few seconds of learning, I remember hitting the floor, right? And I remember getting back up, and they sat me on the edge of the bed, and everything was just going, but I was at a standstill. And I remember having a conversation with self, and I was telling myself, you got to get up from here. Because my whole world had just fell beneath me. And so I'm telling myself, because I hear, again, everybody's talking and crying all throughout the hospital, the room we were in and all in the hallways. And I have to tell myself, you got to get up from here. And so when they finally took us to see Iseir, I remember man and mushy, and I walked in the room, Key, and I looked at this boy and I could cry. There was a light that was shining over him. There was a glow over my baby that gave me a sense of security that he was resting with our Savior. How do you get mad at that?
Yeah, you can't get mad at that.
How do you get mad? And although it hurted, for several reasons, because it shouldn't have been him, the way it happened, how soon it happened. So although I heard it, I understood this got to be God got this.
He got it.
Because we don't. God got this. Yeah. And so I couldn't cry. And I remember finding enough strength to even try to tell my husband and daughter, let them, don't try to shed a tear on me because we couldn't touch him. Don't try to touch him. Let them do what they need to do to just catch the individuals who did this. Okay, so fast forward now, those few moments allowed me to know who I was going to become, because I really had to sit in that seat and tell myself one or two that I had the option to taking.
Yes.
And I had the crossroad of both of them. And it was one or two routes I could take, and I decided to find my strength.
Wow.
And then finding your strength is necessary for so many reasons. It's necessary because if you're anything like myself, you have another child, that child still needs you.
Yes.
You're still here. That child needs a parent. You can't give in to your own selfish desires because you want to give in. Yes. That's not fair.
Yes.
It's not fair to your other children. It's not fair to yourself. It's not even fair to the God who's created you, because in a sense what you're telling him is, I don't care what you say my life should be, and I don't care about the fact that I've always said that you directed my life, but you don't take me on a detour like this, and because I'm detoured, I don't want to serve you anymore.
Wow.
You don't have the right to say that.
Wow, that is deep.
You don't have the right to say that. And the faster you come to that understanding, the better off you'll be.
Wow.
We were all put here for an assignment. We were all put here to serve a purpose. I say it often, and in several interviews, I always share in Iseir's 18 short years of living, he served his purpose, right? And so if my goal desire now is to want to see my Savior again and to be reunited with my son, I got to do my assignment.
Yes.
I got to continue working.
Wow.
I don't have the willpower within itself to tell myself that I can give up. I'm not that powerful.
Wow.
It's not my life.
Wow.
It's loaned.
Wow.
I can't give
to God.
And then my not
You can't take it back.
And my not giving up allows God to continue to equip me to be able to carry out this ministry, which I believe he's entrusted me with. And that's to minister to other moms who are going through. I'm not like, there are so many different organizations out there, so many groups, and things like that. I'm not associated with any of them, but I do participate with a lot of them. I love a lot of the individuals in these groups, but it wasn't something that I feel is going to be benefiting to me to be a part of it. But to participate at times, I don't have a contract. I don't have any agreement. Well, I'm not like any of them. And not saying that they do things different, but my sole purpose isn't to build.
That's not your walk. Your walk
is community.
God had you doing
Not to build community. My purpose is to minister to those who are in this community, to help them learn that there is a way to overcome your grief, which we just talked about on yesterday. There is a way, and everybody's going to always be at different stages. So just because when I'm talking to someone, I'm not expecting them to get to that stage overnight. But what I'm sharing with them and imparting upon them is the knowledge and understanding of how to possibly do it, and I'm not saying that what works for me is going to work for you, but it is my duty and responsibility to share the things that I do, and what's helping me get through. And of course, first thing is just constant communication with God.
Listen, and you said something that was so, oh my God, so important, where when you said your life is not your own and you just can't take it back. Now, a lot of people, smaller things happen to them. And if it's not going their way, they'll give God their heart and say, God, lead this, and you take the will, Jesus, and all of that. And then as soon as one thing goes wrong or not according to how they plan, they snatch their life back. Now, what's awesome to me is that something that big happened to you, and you still said, God, you have a bigger plan for my life.
Oh,
you have a bigger plan for my life.
For a few days.
I'm still here with you, God. I'm still here with you. Even though this thing has gut punched me and taken all the wind out of me, I still want you to lead and guide my life because I trust you that much. That is big. That is major.
And that's with everything in me. I have to believe that this assignment was God allowed, but he trusted me enough to carry out my purpose still. Even knowing that it will come.
Wow.
So, and knowing trusted me to do that, I got to understand that he's going to always equip me with what I need to carry it out. Wow. So I got to stay in constant communication with him, in constant contact with him, and understanding what it is he needs me to do. My ministry is not like everybody else. This is unorthodox. I meet people exactly where they are. I tell people exactly what it is. I know the stages that you're going to go through. And the reason that the people who's spoken to me about all of the things that they experienced during that first few moments, and during this entire process, I'm just looking at them like, oh my God, that's my story.
That's your story.
I've experienced the same thing. I know. I tell people, I was on the phone with my cousin Dawn as I was driving to the hospital. That right, Key, and I could tell you the very moment I believe passed away.
Wow.
I said to her on the phone, I don't want to go there. And she was like, why? And I said, because my son is already gone.
Wow.
And she said to me, girl, get to the hospital, your baby. So when I got there, nothing was really strange to me about the things they were doing. Like they put us in a little room.
Yeah.
And I knew.
You know.
I knew.
Wow.
It's a that you have with your child. I felt it.
You felt it,
I felt the moment. Yep. And I promise you, from there on out, I knew I could not do this on my own. So I had my little moment with God. I got really, really angry with him, just being honest. Few weeks, I was just like, don't talk to me about God. That's why I don't know how I was able to even sing it at the funeral, because I was so mad.
Like those emotions, like how do you,
yeah.
You went through the anger. You went through all of that.
About 6 that morning, I had text my pastor and I said to him, sometime during the service, I just need you to call me up. I said that to him, but then come around like 7 o'clock, my dad and everybody's starting to get up. I'm still laying in the bed. I'm not moving. And then I'm actually pushing man out of the bed. Like, okay, one of us got to get up.
Wow.
One of us go. I don't want to be the one to have to go.
Yeah.
So he's pacing the floor. I'm big. And my aunts and those guys came, and Iseir's godmom came, and they dressed me.
Wow.
I couldn't do that. Yeah. But I was still able to go minister to God. And I knew then, I think, that he wasn't upset with the fact that I was angry with him.
Because God says be angry and sin not. That's in the Bible. He
not
go through all the emotions. Yeah. He wants you to go through all the emotions.
He wasn't at the thing was yeah.
He expected it. He knew he was gonna be mad. I mean,
yeah.
He created you.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So I say to other mothers, those first few moments are defining factors for you. And even if you are in a space right now where you just don't feel like you have it in you to do this, I promise you, sister, you do. I know with everything in me, there is a certain strength that lies within all of us. You just got to be willing to tap into it. And it's deep, deep down in there, but it is there. And you have to tap into it. And when you tap into it, you watch God do the rest.
Wow.
You just got to let God know, I still want to be in this fight. I still want to be used. I still want to be your servant. You know, I'm here. And he's right there waiting.
Open arms
he's
all
right
the time.
There waiting. He's waiting.
His arms are never folded. His arms are
just
always
like we just talked about. We have to be accepted. Never. Just like we just talked about, how we have to be accepting to the truth that our children give us. We have to be accepting to the truth that God gives us. Wow. Even if it's not a truth that we understand, even if it's not a truth that we want to accept and we want to believe, and never want it to happen. If God said so, it is so.
Yeah, God
and
said
so
it.
We just gotta trust. Yeah, we just gotta trust it. Wow. So yeah. Yep.
Wow. And I've seen people go through things. It's just a grace that when somebody goes through something this big and this major in life, there's always a difference when you're going through it by yourself and aside from God, and the person that's going through it with God.
Yeah.
Because it's like almost like it's almost like he's carrying you, you know?
I couldn't imagine. I'm not even going to speak on anyone else because I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't personally know anyone who doesn't and a God, and they're relying on that source to get through. I couldn't imagine not finding my way back to God to say, okay, this is where I am. I'm angry. Why would you give me this boy for 18 years to love the way I did, and then you took him back? And then I'm angry because I didn't feel like he had prepared me for it. Like, you know, I felt like, okay, my mom, you know, you kind of prepared me for it because she was sick for several years before her demise, right? And so, but Iseir was just so sudden, and that was the that just kind of like
full of life, like
that kind of bothered me for a moment. You know, I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. So I was angry for those reasons, but I went back to God and I shared my frustration, and you know how you got to lay prostrate, and it's to find your answers in some situations. You just got to tarry, right, to get it. And I just had to tarry before God and figure out what it was I was supposed to get from this. And still finding that answer. I find it daily because it's always something different. It's never like, of course, the main ministry, I believe, again, is to minister to other moms, to that person that they, whenever they need to contact someone, to just pray for them, to just listen to go on that lunch date with them. I got time to just do those things. That's my ministry. I'm not going to tell you I could sit on a Zoom with you for 3 hours with 10 other people and to just listen to somebody cry. I can't do that. That's not where and I'm not no shots fired, I swear. It's just really not. But that's just like, well, for my sanity and for my peace, right? Because about myself that I know about myself is I'm an empath. And so those emotions. So I have to protect peace. I have to protect that space in my life. I can't give that away so easily like I used to because of all that I'm already dealing with. I wouldn't know how to separate the two. And so I'm paying attention to what's important. Yeah, I got to pay attention to what's really important. That's my peace. Because if I ain't no good to myself, I ain't no good to nobody else.
Good to nobody. But and this thing has seemed, it seems like with the demise of your son, it seemed like it's a rebirth for you though, because I see you flourishing in a way that I've never saw before. Like I've never seen it.
Oh man.
So it's like, oh man, when they say one thing dies and something is reborn, it's almost like each has been
something else born. Yeah.
You've been reborn.
Yeah. My God. Okay, one of the things that I shared often is let me say this while I'm thinking about it. So throughout this time, I wrote a book.
Yes.
And it's finally done. It's finally done.
How you forget that?
Actually on its way to the publisher.
Yes, congrats.
And so here's the thing. Thank you. Here's the thing. I think the reason why I was so hesitant in finishing the book was because there lies the period.
Wow.
So I came to the final steps, of all the memories that I will ever make with my son. Everything since that date on out has been just memories of my son. So I carried out the process of finishing that project so long because when I got to the end, I recognized it didn't bring me the peace I intended from doing that project. But it did allow me to share with you all our memories, our struggles, our ups, our downs, our unit. We were a fraction. And we will forever be that fantastic four. We will, because I say it all the time, no other family could have done it the way God allowed us to.
Wow.
So yeah.
There lies the
and I'm excited.
That is a profound statement. Like, and there lies the period. You don't want to get to the period because the period.
You don't want to get to the period. Yeah, you never want to get to the period. Get that project on, and
congratulations.
But we are here. I'm excited about it. Thank you. I am excited about it. I'm just going through that process with the publisher, and hopefully it's going to be a release party.
Okay, and you know I'm
it's going to
there.
be a release party.
And you know I'm there.
Period.
You have a title yet, or is it like?
So yeah, let's do it. Oh yes, it's titled Torn Reality.
Torn Reality.
Torn Reality. We are now our new normal, and it's our new reality. And although it's torn, we have to find a way to keep it together.
Keep it together. Wow.
Yeah.
So
gotta keep it together. Yeah.
So you have said a lot of things. Their lives, a period, and a lot of times in people's lives, they can't get past the period, right? They can't get past. And yet that was so profound what you said. They can't get past the period, but at the end of that period, there's a capital letter that starts a new sentence, that starts a new something. A new chapter, new book, new something.
That's the silver lining.
That's the silver.
And so, as you stated, there is a rebirth with Aisha. Yes. And I took from Iseir's death, if nothing else, this statement he stated to me in a conversation between him and I. He told me that I do not live in my truth. We were having a conversation, and he told me I did not live in my truth, and that I gave the world what I wanted the world to see my family to be. I didn't share with the world when we were going through our tough battles in our household. Mm-hmm. He felt like I only wanted to put on for the camera, and I taught them how to do that, and they did it well. And I'm sorry, I caused them to camouflage because that's that kept us safe. My whole thing was, it wasn't that I was keeping, wanting the world to see a facade, that we were fake or anything, but you expose your hand to the world like that and show people your weaknesses, because that's when the enemy is able to come in more. Yep. So, but all of that, and the lesson I learned from that was, he was absolutely correct. I remember at one time being this person who wholeheartedly loved God and served and worshiped him, but everything I did was always in secret. And now I'm just like, this same God still loves me. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and do anything bad. And,
no. You have to live, though.
Anything out of the ordinary that but I live unapologetically.
Yes.
Unapologetically.
Authentically and unapologetically. Yes.
And because of that, it has taken years off of my life. Wow. Because when I lived in a world where I had to be what everybody else wanted me to be, I was stressful. I looked much, much older. When I look back at pictures in my 20s and my 30s, I looked like I was somebody's grandmother back then. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, where is this youthful person coming from? But it's because of the peace that I've allowed myself. I've allowed myself to release what other people felt about my behavior, what other people said about my behavior, how other people feel about my decisions in life. I release myself of that. That is not my concern. That is on them.
That's on them.
Yeah.
And that is on. We talk about this all the time on the show. We might as well call the show Disease to Please, because when I say I got delivered from my disease to please, everybody is going through that, where they're actually like, I'm not going to put on for you. Like, now there are a lot of people that's doing it. I can't.
You don't pay me that much.
I can't do fake, fraudulent, or phony. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But I cannot.
Yeah. There isn't glasses was not helping. There isn't an amount that could cause me to sell myself for anyone again.
Wow.
It's not and living in my truth allows me, people would think, so when I post, it's because once I get out, I don't know how to act because I ain't been out in a while. So
you be like, listen, look at me, I'm out here, I'm living.
Y'all better do something that whole weekend, because I'm telling y'all ain't gonna see me for another 2 months. So somebody better take Friday, somebody better get Saturday, Sunday. That's a wrap.
Yes.
Get me for another month. So when I get out there, I get into character. I enjoy myself.
But I tell you,
I come home to this guy who wants to be in a camera so bad. I go upstairs and turn my music on, and I get in that bed, my word, and that is my life. And it is so peaceful.
It's so peaceful.
It is so.
Oh, it's nothing like it.
Yep. If I know I don't want to go somewhere, I'm honest with people in the beginning and let them know I don't think I'm gonna make it to that.
Girl, you got rid of the disease to please, girl, and I'm telling you, it's a thing that will set you all the way free. I used to go from saying, well, I might try to make it to straight, girl. I'm not gonna make it.
I used to tell people, but I used to go to the point where I would press myself where I would have to do maybe 3 or 4 events in a day.
That's girl. Been there, done it, and don't do it. Don't do it.
That is a burn.
Don't do it.
That is burn. So when I'm not even invited to stuff now, I am so happy.
Listen,
I am so happy.
No, enough. They took me off the list. Like, she ain't gonna come. She ain't coming. Yeah. Like, all right, well,
that's
like,
exactly.
Why didn't invite me?
I've been blackballed. Yeah.
But I love that picture.
Yes.
Behind you. But I love that picture. I love it.
Oh, that gorgeous. Yes. It's actually on exhibit. It goes with Soul Shop Portraits, which is an organization that was created to bring to life through picture, bring to life the life of that deceased loved one to gun violence. And so what they do is they send out a representative to your home, and you share with them description of Iseir. You share with them his behavior, his demeanor, all types of stuff, right? And through that, they create a image of your child. Wow. And she took in this picture, so she took a picture that he took in front of my home. The top portion is a picture he took in front of my home around Christmas one year. On Christmas, him and Mushy had taken pictures together. They had a little photo shoot. So the top is that, and then the bottom is his graduation pictures. Yeah. But the hand comes off a separate picture. So that's really? 2 portraits in one. Wow. And so
that is dope. I love that.
That's why I love it so much, because when she finished and I was able to see it, I was like, oh my God, I know exactly which picture these came from. Each picture. So yeah.
That's so dope. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your strength. Now, if there's anything you had to tell, so say a mother just lost her baby, or anybody just lost someone, and they're stuck and they're mad at God, and what would you tell them? Yeah. What would you tell them in that moment to help hopefully try to pull them through that pain?
Yeah. So that's a great question. And what I would say to sis is, in that first few moments, you are really trying to figure out how to get up, and you're gonna find your footing. And sis, when you find your footing, you keep stepping. Wow. Sometimes you're get knocked back. Sometimes you're going to get knocked down, but you keep getting up and you keep moving. You got to move through this. That is the goal, to keep pushing forward, to never stop. Those emotions are going to happen. Those feelings are going to come. Those memories are going to be constant in your mind. They're going to run over and over and over again. You fight through those moments, but you keep going. You never, ever stop. You find a village that you trust and that you're willing to entrust yourself with, a village that you know that's going to pray you through when you don't have the strength to pray for yourself. You find that village that's going to be there to listen and cry with you when you don't want to cry alone. You find that village that's going to pour into you when you don't even know that they're doing it. Wow. But you find that village and you trust them and you allow them in, because after that individual took your child, you stop trusting. I know, I did it. But you find that village that you believe in, and you allow them to get you through this moment. You're going to need it. Wow. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is that you never stop talking to God. You never stop talking to God. That is your source. That is your strength. That is the same God you believed in before this tragedy. And that is the God that's going to carry you through after this tragedy. Your sole purpose was put on this earth to serve him and to worship him. And you worshiped him before it. Don't stop trusting him now. Keep going. He got you.
He got you. Wow.
Never give up, sis. Never give up.
Wow. Thank you, sis. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much for coming and sharing your story. I love you for that. I love you for it. I love your strength, your resilience. I love your new unveiling. I'm watching you just blossom. So I love that. And it's just a beautiful thing to see someone come through like the way you've come through.
Thank you.
And it's unfortunate we're from Philly, and Philly right now is almost like the murder capital right now, where everything is actually happening. I don't know what the rate is right now, but to be in the face of adversity and to triumph through it, like is a blessing all in itself. So I know that with the crime rate and the way it's going on in Philly, people are losing their babies. People have lost their babies, and people are going to need.
They're going to need the support, and it's what I say to the village. I've spoken to the individuals, but what I say to the village is just as Kiki just stated, people are going to need that support. People are going to need you to just be there. Sometimes they're just going to need you to just listen without saying anything. Sometimes they're going to need you to just call them and do a wellness check. They're not going to tell you they need these things, but they need, and I need the village to be understanding. I need the village to be empathetic, and understand that when sometimes when that individual might not want to, let you in, keep pushing. This isn't the moment to get in your feelings and walk away. Push through. That person needs you will ever know. Keep pushing, and do not leave them. Do not leave them. That's how.
Just sit there.
That's another way. Our individual that's in this community, that's how you fight through as well. Relying on that community to help you. Sometimes we don't have the strength to pray for ourselves. That's why I know, just like I know I'm benefiting to some, I know that there are some that's out there that's benefiting to me, because somebody somewhere is praying for me.
Yes.
Somebody's praying for me.
Yes, the prayers are carried.
So I trust that.
Wow. Yep. Well, thank Ish. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this. I thank you for the heart that it's going to touch, for the mothers that it's going to heal, for the people who've lost people to get a better understanding of how they can get through it. I thank you so much, because I believe we need this now. They need this now, and thank you so much for taking the rivalry to share your story with me on this platform. And I'll see you soon. This is your book signing. See you at your book signing. I will be there.
Thank you. Bye.
Definitely cheering you on.
Yes.
And I will watch your blow up, your glow up, and everything. I always have something I say. I started saying,
yes. Yes.
Listen, your glow up after the throw up, because you had to throw up to get this glow up. I'm telling you, you had to throw up, cry, walk,
yes.
You had to sit over the tool.
You had to get sick first.
Girl.
Yeah.
Girl. Okay?
Yeah.
So we thank you for showing us. So, guys, that concludes our show for tonight. Thank you so much, Ish, for joining us. This has been Take Notes with Kiki Barber with our special guest, Ish Drayton.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Take Notes with Kiki Barber podcast. Please don't forget, notes on a pad without application is just notes on a pad. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that notification button so you can stay in the know. Until next time, my friends.